Game day, just 2 hours away.
Just
See what I
two
did
hours
there?
away, baby. Yes, sir. I like that.
Yeah. Yo, welcome to the Devo and Kris Joe show. Got another great show, and we giving you another salute just because it's ACC tournament day. Joe, where'd you go, baby? Come back, come back. We need you. There you go.
Oh, I got a phone
Okay,
call. My bad.
okay. There you go.
I put
There you
my shit
go.
on Do Not Disturb, man. But hey, I don't know. They still disturb me.
So, Joe, it's a new season. New season today, man. 0-0. We could throw all the regular season records out the window. It's a new year, new season. Can we do it?
Wait,
Can we do it?
something just crossed my mind. Um, I believe at this beginning of the season, I don't know if it was Paulie. Maybe Paulie, this was when Paulie was still around. Shout out to Paul that seen him this weekend, but we'll get into that. Where we
Yeah.
predicted how many wins we would get this season. How many wins are we at? 18?
17.
I believe my call was 18. I'm just saying, I think that I won. If this was Price is Right,
Do we have
I
that
just
clip? Do
want.
we have that clip?
It'll be hard for them. Hey, Jordan, you got some sifting through to do. But hey, listen, 0-0, like you mentioned. We're going in, obviously, coming off of a great win against the exact same team who will be playing. So for me, going into a game where we're rocking, and we know what it's going to be like there in Greensboro. It's going to be Cuse Nation is going to be there representing in full effect. So we will have
Absolutely.
that home feel vibe, and I believe that we could pull it off. Vegas got us as underdogs. I don't think so.
I think we're favored 3. Oh, I think we're favored by 3 if I'm not mistaken.
Nah. Plus, yep,
Oh, 3 point underdogs.
3-point dogs, baby. So first of all, fuck Vegas, but
Yeah, fuck
we gonna
Vegas.
do what we gonna do what we gotta do. No, I feel good. I feel good. I feel good, bro. We a great showing on Saturday. That comes back to the point that we've been making. How we show flashes of how we can play great basketball. Jesse, obviously, we could get into that. We could dive a little bit deeper a little bit later. But his performance, what he's capable of bringing to us, Wake Forest got some big boys down there. We got him in foul trouble early.
Yeah.
He was being aggressive down low, and to see it up close was actually something. It was really good to see how he operates down there. So I feel good going into this first round of the ACC, bro. And I think that we come out day one victorious. If we bring that same energy for one, like I said, when you play a team and you beat them, and then you play them a month later, they could be a pretty different team from in a month. But it's been 4 days or however long it's been since we played them,
Right.
so they ain't changed that much. You know what I mean? They might make a couple wrinkles, a few adjustments, and we'll probably do the same. But I feel like we should have the upper hand.
I mean, I'm looking at the box score right now. Defensively, we held them to 40% shooting, 25% from the 3-point line, and they only got to the free throw line 6 times the whole game. I mean, they had 26 paint points, 9 fast break, 11 second chance points. So we out rebounded them. They had 36, we had 43. And we only shot 14 threes. We shot okay. We shot almost 43% from the field for the game. Got to the free throw line 24 times. I mean,
Yep.
obviously, Jesse with the 20 and 27 points. We had 40 points in the paint. It was our three J's that we've been talking about all year. I mean, they showed up again. Joe didn't shoot terrific, but he did end up with 16 points and on only 1 3. So he was attacking. Judah was attacking. He had 17. 5 for 14. It got to the free throw line 8 times. But
Hey,
like you said, bro, it was Jesse's night, man. Senior night. His fam was in from the Netherlands.
oh
He
wow,
showed up a little.
yep.
Now, Joe, real quick before you say something, I do think this weekend had a big effect, or that
A
Friday
hundred
night
percent, a
had a
hundred
big
percent.
deal to do it. Talking about when those guys talking to him up there, Mello, and just saying, how appreciative they should be, of the opportunity and the moment that they're in, and really to go take advantage of it, seize it. And they did it. They did it. So I think that Friday night had a big deal. If that alumni weekend, this just everything, the energy going around, it was.
We've been saying
I
that
felt
shit
like they
since
felt
September.
it.
Hey, but sometimes it takes for some motherfuckers, somebody else to say it, man. Maybe they don't all lock in, but nah, that definitely I feel like had a great impact on the way that they came out and performed. Of course, the fact that GMAC had getting their jerseys retired, you wanted it to be a good day for it to transition into a good night. Losing a game and then having to celebrate the jerseys going into the rafters, bro, it wouldn't have been the exact same. But to get a convincing win like we did, and then for
Great crowd
that to follow, great crowd. Everybody was locked in, man. So I think that, like you said, it did have a great impact. But my hope is that whatever was said Friday that they were able to take into Saturday's game mentally, that they still have, and they could bring it into this game again against the team that they just played against, bro. They should be able to carry that momentum. That was my biggest thing going into the tournament, was we didn't want to go in there, whether we just won a game, we didn't want to go in there with the last game being a loss. Now we have positive vibes and positive energy going into the first game of the ACC tournament.
And bro, I mean, we've been talking about it the whole year. When we play good defense, when we rebound the basketball, and when our 3Js show up and are consistent, and we could get help from those other guys. You saw like Malik Brown and Chris Bell, and guys got some time and contributed. I think even more on the defensive side of the ball, guys were kind of flying around and they were active. But when we're doing those three things we talk about, bro, they usually put themselves in position to win the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. We out rebounded them by what was it? 8 rebounds, I think, or 7 rebounds. Jesse had 5 steals. We had 13 steals as a team. Jesse had 5, and that wasn't
Judah,
just by
Judah was doing. The fucking Judah was rocking.
And Jesse had 5, and that wasn't by just coincidence. Like they're throwing the ball to him. He was up there denying the high post a couple times. He got in front, came up right to the free throw line, knocked it out, started the transition. So, I mean, we got back to this game to playing, how we need to play to be successful, getting out and playing fast, getting easy buckets, getting to the rim. And even though we were only 2 for 14 from 3, I think we'll have the opportunities to get downhill and then kick it out to a Joe or a Chris Bell or whatever it is. And I think we can get more of those opportunities. It seems like we're driving, pretty consistently and getting in there. It seems like we'd have those kick-out opportunities a little bit more. Guys just got to be mindful of it.
Yeah, you know what I realized just watching the game, and it was hard for me not to watch the game from a coaching standpoint in a sense. Obviously, I enjoyed the game from a fan standpoint as well. But what I realized is a couple of times we take 1 or 2 more extra dribbles than we should have, to where that by that second dribble, now that wing guy is no longer open. So especially against this team, if we can get more of those opportunities where we take 1, 2, and then kick it to the corner or kick it to the wing, we'll get those opportunities to get a couple more threes up, as opposed to getting too deep into the paint. Now that pass is a little bit more difficult. Now that guy is being covered, because at the end of the day, these are world-class athletes. They won't be open for very long. So when they are open, we got to make sure that we get them the ball on time, on target, right there in the chest, so that they can be ready to catch and shoot. So, but we did, like you said, he did a great job penetrating Judah, getting to the basket. He got real nasty with it one time, left to right between. Boom, 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 boom.
He had some nice finishes, bro.
He had some nice finishes. Same foot, same hand joints and ones. That was real nice. Copeland came in, little left to right, spin move, dump off to Jesse.
Great energy.
He missed, but great energy, man. It was a great game overall, bro. And I'm looking forward to today's game, man. I'm looking forward to it.
And I think it comes down, bro, for real, for us as a team defensively. If they're locked in defensively, if they're moving, even, when I went down to Florida State down there and did the radio and watched them up close and just seeing how locked in they were defensively, because they had a good game defensively that game. They were moving, bro, and that created offensive opportunities on the other end. I think offensively we've seen what we're capable of doing. If guys are, moving the ball, not stagnant, we're going to get shots and guys are capable of knocking them down, but it starts for us defensively. Like that, if we got that energy on that end, it's going to be easier to create opportunities offensively for ourselves. So they did that against Wake Forest. Can they do it again? Joe, we all know it's hard going in playing the team, for a second time and a third time. I mean, these guys have gone through the scouting report. They know what they could do. They're probably going to, double Jesse. You would think possibly, or they're going to switch up their defense a little bit, and they'll be a little bit more prepared. So, what do you think they have to do today? Coming in playing Wake Forest a second time, to get this W.
For one, cliche as it is, we know what we say in most sports, but especially in basketball, with a quick turnaround like this, you got to have a short memory, in the sense that whether you lose or you win, like I mentioned before, I don't think that there'll be such a different team in a 4 or 5 day span, but they need to forget a little bit about the fact that, that they beat them at home. These guys are coming in, they're fighting for the seniors are fighting for another chance to play basketball just like we are. You know what I mean? So that's for one. They're going to come out and play a little bit harder. And, of course, you're going to come out with a little bit of a bigger chip on your shoulder after you just lose to a team. So what we have to do is, we mentioned, the defense has to be sound. We can't give up no threes, no opportunities for them to shoot any threes. I felt like we were getting out to the corners a lot faster. Jesse or whoever it was, we weren't giving up many corner threes on Saturday. So a little bit more of that has to happen. Yeah. So defensively, we have to be locked in. Because offensively, we've shown that we could score in a variety of ways, right? We only hit 2 threes, but we were getting out in transition. We were getting baskets. We were getting to the free throw line, like you mentioned, and that's going to be the key. Putting the pressure on the ref to make a call, getting teams in foul trouble early, neutralizing them a little bit in that way so that things open up for us. Because when a team now has 4 or 5 fouls and there's 13 minutes left in the first or second half, they can't be as aggressive. So that in turn opens up to guys just letting you go up for layups because they don't want to foul or they're not trying to get too handsy out there on the perimeter. So we got to use that to our advantage. So make sure that we put the pressure on the refs to make calls earlier on in the halves in the games so that we have the opportunity to go to the free throw line or get some easy baskets.
100%. Defense is where it starts. Rebounding. We got to limit second chance opportunities. Defensively, if we're locked in, it'll create easy opportunities for us, on the offensive end, not always having to go against that half-court defense and then getting some easy ones out in transition. Just giving ourselves some energy. If you get a guy like Chris Bell, he gets out in transitions, gets a fast break dunk or, a fast break three. He's coming back on the other end. He's active defensively. So, and we've seen these guys, they could do it. I think if we're locked in, we got some talent out there, man. And we beat Wake Forest. Now you're looking at number 1 seed. I think, number 1 seed Miami, I believe. Which we talked about that game, Joe. We went down there and we had an opportunity. That was the game where they were talking about Judah. Those last 3 possessions, they were tough for him, but we were right there. With the team who has the ACC Player of the Year in Wong, and a number 1 seed. Look, we got 4 games. We got to do it. It's going to be tough, but the opportunity is in front of us, bro. I'm not going to, and I said this before, I'm not going to say no until it's all said and done. Until we lose in this tournament.
Exactly.
All right. I still think we have an opportunity, Wake Forest, Miami, and then, whoever we see next. But the opportunity is in front of us. This squad is talented, man. We put it together, 100%. Doing the things that we just talked about. They're gonna have an opportunity, man. So it's gonna be it's not at home. I don't know. You think Greensboro is gonna be the pro Q's crowd though? Still, that's what you think, Joe?
You know what it is. You know how we rocking, bro. No matter what's going on. For one, if it's not to watch the game, it's to meet up with your buddies. These fans, they've been traveling. You've made friends along the way. And you're going there to cheer on your team, man. So I think that there's going to be, to me personally, and I say this, I mean, I would have said this if I went to another school, but we have the best fan base in the country. The way that we move together as a unit, no matter where we are, it's always oranged out there. So, that Cuse Mafia, Cuse Nation, we out there. And I think it's going to be great.
Now, bro, I just want to address something real quick because I put a clip out from my podcast, Field of 68, and I was talking about, I was on with Tim, our producer, my producer Tim, and you're
Shout
just
out
talking
Tim.
about shout out Tim, great dude, man. We're talking about Joe Girard's career, and just say, what do you think about his career? What is his, the legacy that he leaves behind? And I looked at the numbers, and obviously, I'm talking about from an individual standpoint, right? What did you do individually?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Your team may have not had the best record. Okay, we get that.
Yeah.
But from an individual standpoint, I'm looking at, some of his stats, over 1,600 points, almost 500 assists. I think like 200 steals, almost 350 rebounds, almost 300 3-pointers made. Top in free throw percentage. Like, I'm looking at those numbers like, damn, he had a pretty solid career. Like that's a good career, and he's had moments where he's hit big shots. Has he had moments
Yep.
where he struggled? Absolutely. But when I put the clip out there, Joe, and what I said, and I don't know if you listened to it, but people were on me. You did. People were on me. People were on me about
Really?
it. What do you think, bro? If somebody asks you what was Joe's legacy that he leaves behind, and what type of career that he had?
Man, just reeling off those numbers, he had a hell of a career. There's some guys that
Come
could
on,
only
man.
dream
Shit.
of. There's only some guys could only dream about doing what he's accomplished. So I know that the fact that he maybe sometimes looks like he's out of it or whatever the case is, we're prisoners of the moment. We kind of tend to forget what someone has done in the past because we live in a "what have you done for me lately" more so society. And maybe people tend to forget all those numbers that you rattled off, and where he stands in all of those categories, especially when we talk about three pointers made, free throw percentages, and points. He's up there. You know what I mean? He's made his way up the charts. And for me personally, from a personal standpoint, I always knew Joe could get a bucket because he was Mr. New York. You know what I mean? Like in high school, that's what he did. Undersized or not, he found a way to score the basketball. At the end of the day, he's been that size for as long as he can remember. So scoring the basketball, you got to get creative. And, you got to shoot from further. You got to have range. You got to be crafty in there with his little up fakes and jumping into defenders and things of that nature. He finds a way to get the ball in the basket. And you're not off with what you said. He's had a hell of a career from an individual standpoint. You know what I mean? All his teams didn't do so well as a unit, but if we're talking about personal accolades and personal careers at Syracuse, he's had one of the better ones. Throughout the last little bit. You know what I mean? So there's obviously, like I said, prisoners of the moment. What have you done for me lately? That's what we're all about these days. So sometimes guys need to just like you did. All these stats are accessible to everybody. StatMuse, basketballreference.com, Google, fucking whatever you want to do. These stats are available to you, and you can match it up with your favorite Syracuse players and see, where they stand. You can match them up. And at the end of the day, I believe that Joe will, career wise, from an individual standpoint, surpass some of the fans' favorite players.
And we get it. It's not all about stats. I understand that. Like the eye test says a lot too, just like being a hooper. But Joe, he's hit big shots. It's been moments where he's hit big shots. People were saying that he's never had big moments or he didn't show up in big games. Yes, he has. He's hit big shots. I saw it. I mean, this year against Florida State, I went down there. He hit big shots, big 3 points to extend the lead in crunch time. So we could nitpick all day. Defensively, is he the greatest? No, he's not. He's not super athletic. We know that. He's not super fast. He's not super strong. He's not like a cut up dude. You know what I'm saying? But he still averages just under, I think, 2 steals or like maybe a steal and a half, almost 200 steals in his career. So I mean, that's a lot of people aren't even doing that. So, and I know one thing defensively, it's not his fault that he's not fast or not athletic like that, but he's given effort. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Is he gonna? Are guys gonna go by him? Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was playing. Man, I remember guys getting by me, or sometimes I know my effort wasn't even there defensively. Probably sometimes like it needed to be, right? But I mean, I know guys are trying, and again, we could nitpick all day and say this, but bro, like we talked about, some of his numbers are going to be better than a lot of guys who, like you said, favorite Q's players. You know what I mean? So he's put in some
Yep.
work. I know it's kind of like I don't know if it's kind of like almost Trevor Cooney, and he's had his numbers are better than Trevor Cooney, but Trevor kind of got criticized a lot too. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
for
big time.
even his Final Four run. I remember North Carolina game, he had 28. So it's tough. You're right. What have you done for me lately? And I don't think people are ever going to be satisfied unless you're winning the national championship. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. But bro, let's I want to kind of hop into this weekend.
Never be the
Same. Never be the same. Come on, man. If you don't know that in the chat, then we're not even gonna say who it is, but you should know that in the chat already, bro. Let's hop into
Yes,
this
sir.
weekend, man. Let's send a recap of this weekend. I know everybody who wasn't there kind of wants to know how it was like being inside, in the middle of it, with Melo and Hack and G Mac. We going to the Marriott, kicking it with G Mac pops and having a drink or two
The
and
whole
celebrating
screen.
the whole scran. Having a beer or two, celebrating the jersey retirement, being in the dome. Everybody back. We got our guy Scoop, Caleb. Shout out my guy Al who showed love this weekend, big time love,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir. Big time love.
And then going to
Shout out
Prime,
my guy Max too.
shout out my guy Max. Yeah, Max, that's my guy right there, man. But it was just a fun overall weekend, bro. We stopped in Orange Crate. We stopped in Orange Crate for a second, checked it out. You know what I mean? So
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
oh yeah, no question, no question. I'm gonna be honest. A couple people gave me a couple shots. I put them right down. I said, "Yeah, thanks, bro," and I just put them behind the bar. I said, "Look, I ain't drinking that one, buddy. I am old. I am not. I
Man, I
cannot
tell
do
you
that
what,
one, man."
I couldn't do it. Like if people were offering drinks, I'm like, hold on, man. I can't do that 19, 20-year-old anymore. That body don't see the way my body's set up. It
See the
don't
way my body said.
work.
Shout out to Ryan Kabilis because he had my body on some bullshit. My shit, damn, yo. We did the RDLs, we did some full court lunges, but shout out to Ryan because that was some
Ooh.
great work. But let's go on ahead and dive in then. Friday, I know I got there at tip off. So when I walked in, I'll tell you a quick story. There was always we did camp at the Mello Center in the summertime, whether it was GMAX or Hops Camp or whatever it was. And there was a kid named Patrick. Patrick was there. We grew close. You know what I'm saying? Me and Kris, Joe was always good with the kids. Joe loved the kids. So we were playing, we did our thing. I think I was a counselor, but I was also his coach for the weekend or however long it was. And he must have went back home. Kids love Syracuse, told his parents, how much he loved me and Kris was great. So I ended up meeting his mom, right? And dad, and he had a sister. So they come to the Cuse games. Great family. They invited me for dinner a few times at their house. Great home cooked spaghetti, lasagna one time. Some chicken parm. It was delicious. And so I walk in on Friday, and I'm signing in. I'm at the sign up desk, and I turn around, and there she is, Miss Gilson. I couldn't believe it. I hadn't seen her. I hadn't seen her
There she is.
in 13 years, man. And it was just such a great
Wow.
moment because, the love was still there. You could tell that,
Always.
my love for her love, it was amazing. So, I went in there with that was a quick story. With my Mookie, I see old managers. Shout out to Aaron.
Shout out Aaron.
Met with some
Shout out Mook.
people, that they shout out Mook. They had my drink of choice, some Grand Marnier with some
You a smooth
orange
salad.
or some kind of. Oh yeah, no question. I had about 2 of those, maybe 3. At 7, they closed the bar. I took a shot with some fans, pictures. It was love. They had the 360 camera going. I ain't go in there, though, but it was cool to see people do it. Bro, just poetry was in there. So just the amount of people coming in.
Shout out poetry.
You know what I mean?
The leading scorer on the all-time.
All-time leading scorer. And I remember asking him one time, how'd you do it, He said, you know what I did? I broke the halves into quarters. So every 4 minutes or whatever it was, he said, or every 5 minutes, I'd make sure I got at least 6 points. And I'm like, oh, all right, so you were playing the game within the game.
Most tough as hell.
Yeah. He was getting busy. So no, it was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful from the standpoint of being out there before we got into the auditorium and just seeing all the people taking the pictures, reconnecting with people, faces who I haven't seen in years. Shooting the shit like we do. People talking to me about the NIL. God damn it, Kris Joe, you would have made a killing. I'm like, I know, dog.
Facts. That's a fact.
So, it was beautiful, man. And then we went into the auditorium. So I know that's when you made your grand entrance. I'll let you take it away.
Oh, yeah. No, I had a late, I had some stuff going on with my daughter, so I had to make a late appearance. But I got there. I thought I was going to be late because I thought it started at 7. I think I got there about 7:20, and the game was it didn't even start yet. So when they started,
exactly.
When they started, I sat down. I think it was we sat right across from each other. So that was kind of like the section for I guess people who paid more so, I guess, like a VIP section than the general admission. But then the general admission was pretty packed, and in the back, and then we had the teams up top playing, the team up top sitting down watching. But I thought it was just cool how they did the play-by-play, as we watched the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Melo, saying stuff during the game, Coach Boeheim, and then obviously it was, I think JP, Queth, and GMAC up there. And GMAC up there, right? And Hack, yeah. So it was kind of just cool.
So the starting 5, basically.
The starting 5, yeah. Seeing them rewatch it and then having their commentary and, have some snarky comments. You know what I mean? And then Hack he's funnier than people really know. Hack's a funny dude. And then kind of like Melo, fucking with Boeheim. That was cool, man. Just that whole thing. And then, like you said,
that interaction was real, man. That was real. Love.
That it was fun, bro. It brought back, just a lot of memories just from hearing the fans in the back. Every time a good play happened in the game, they were cheering. I actually sat down to one guy. He's sitting there watching the game, and then he like this, and then he goes quick like that. And he's like, Devo? He's like, yeah, what's going on, man? He's like, oh man, nice to be sitting next to you. So like you said, bro, the love that Q's Nation gives you. Oh man, that's just another example. Friday night watching the game, and I think it was special for Melo to come back too, because we all know how important Melo is to the program and what he did for it, and how the fans feel about him. So for him to be there, it was a different type of energy. We talked about how that energy went to the team, for the game the next day, and that was real because Melo was he was spitting some real stuff up there. And just telling them how to be grateful for the opportunity. And we know how coach can get on you and sometimes you could feel like it's a personal attack, but this motherfucker just want to win. He just wants to win. You know what I mean? That's all he wants to do. And he sometimes he doesn't relay it the best possible way to where it's making you feel good about yourself. You know what I mean? He just going to let you know, yo, you fucking, what are you doing? You're not fucking drop. He talking to you, real reckless. And Melo telling you, hey,
no doubt,
man, fuck all that shit. Block it out and go out there and play hard, man. You got that juice on your chest. He talked about how the family, how the, it's a family environment, having all the walk-ons come back and just the old players from young to, from young to old players.
Rosie was out there, bro. I seen Rosie on Saturday, and we still on Friday. But just to show you the love.
Rosie was? Where'd you see him at? At the game?
He was at the game. He was in my section where we were right across from Wake's bench, pretty much. right up there. Then I seen him in
Okay.
Club 44 afterwards. But just the embrace, bro. That, and then he put me in a headlock like I was a little boy and shit. I was like, yo, I'm not feeling that, bro. But
That's a big
that's
man.
my
That's
man.
a
He
big
put me.
man. That's a
That's a
big
big
man right
man. I
there.
couldn't get out of it. I couldn't get out, man. But it was all. It was a lovely one. You know what I'm saying? But he's strong as hell, boy. But just to see him, I think
Build a
there was a
house with his
couple other
hands.
guys in a couple other people in that section, bro. And it was just. You can't. I spoke with Quef. I always been a big fan of Quef because earlier on in my career, Brad Pike, shout out to BP, Big B, had said, you know what, JoJo, you remind me of Quef. I'm like, why? I look at Quef's picture. I'm like, man, why I remind him of Quef? He got a baldy. He's strong as shit. Like, I'm like, what's going on? Because Big B was a big fan of Quef Dwayne. He had a picture. I don't know if you remember, or in his office in the Mellow had a
Yeah.
poster of Quef. And
Yep.
so I'm like, why? And he sent me, he's like, Coach Boeheim used to get on Quef a lot when he was playing here, and it kind of just reminds me of the same situation that you're going through, pretty much. So at that moment, like, I became a big fan, and of course I did my due dilly. So now I'm all Google, like, Quef, Dwayne, what's going on? Look at the stats. What did he do? And I'm
The
like,
Google
shit, like,
King.
yeah, bro. I'm a Google master. But no, when I went and I'm like, damn. So, and I would always ask Big B, like, so what did Bay? And he would tell me a couple stories of how Boeheim would turn red in the face and yelling at him. And I'm like, shit, I had a couple of those moments myself where I'm thinking, yo, he's 1 second away from popping a vessel if you don't relax. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
his face shaking and shit. I'm like, God damn, what did I do? Was that missed rebound so crazy? Like, I
That
don't
damn
know, bro.
Pepsi coming out his mouth.
So and so I got to meet him finally, right? And it was great. Also, unrelated to basketball, just to hear how many people at the dome, at the auditorium say that they love the show, they love the podcast. You and Devo are doing a hell of a
No
job,
doubt.
et cetera, et cetera. So, thank you guys for the our longtime listeners, our first time listeners. We appreciate you guys. Let me just throw that out there because we do this. It's fun. I get to chop it up with my guy once a week. Come on here, talk basketball, which we would do anyway. But now we get to do it
Right.
with a great fan base and interact with you guys in the chat. So it was really great, bro. I mean, I can't say it enough. It was great.
And then, like you said, it made it even better getting to win, Saturday. And we played great, defensively, rebounding, all that we talked about. We played great, got the win. Then after the game, we get to go out to Prime, have a good meal. Shout out to Danny Clam, owner over there at Syracuse Prime. If you haven't been there, go ahead and get there. And just off of that, we need that sponsorship, Danny. We need it right now. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir. Bang
Jordan,
Bang
go ahead and make that
Cauliflower,
phone
fire.
call.
Make it,
Ooh, I had that filet
make it.
mignon. I know, medium rare. And that's how you eat your steak, medium rare. I'm just gonna let you know. That's how you. If you eating it any other way, something going on with you. I'm just gonna let you
I'm a
know.
medium well type of fella. I'm gonna be honest. Medium well is how I did it.
Talk it up.
But you know what? It's been a while since I had a steak. But shit. If I ever do get one, I'll try that medium rare. See how it
That
goes.
medium rare is right there. And the cool thing was, bro. So we get to Prime. Everybody get there. We showing up, and then besides Cuse basketball alum, it's some Cuse football alum in there. So who do we go sit next to at the table? My guy Don McPherson, Heisman Trophy winner. I believe national champion, if I'm not mistaken. And please help me out in the chat. I don't want to, because I'm a basketball guy, but I do know my football shit. All right, because I know Don, he was a Heisman Trophy winner. I think he did win a national championship, if I'm not mistaken. So we sitting down at the table, and Al and everybody else, and then you guys come over. Who'd you come with? You and not Mook.
It was me and Griff.
Griff.
Scoop.
Sorry.
Scoop was
Shout
there
out
before.
Griff.
Yeah, me
Shout
and
out
Griff.
Griff Hoffman.
Shout out to my man Griff. Yeah.
Griff, a great dude. It was good seeing him. So we sit down.
Damn, he was robbed of his Heisman, bro. They saying he was robbed of his Heisman trophy.
For real? Nah, man, he didn't win the Heisman. He got screwed over. All right, well, whatever, motherfucker. We gonna say he won it. All right, it's made the story better, fuckers. All right. No, but we sitting down, and my man looked to, they talking damn near an hour. And then he's like, Don, he like sit next to me. He's like, damn, Eric, who you look familiar? Who is that? I said, he more of a legend than all of us right here sitting. That's Don McPherson. So my man sitting next to me, he's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So the whole night, man, it came together perfect, bro. Just with everybody there, we shooting the shit, we talking shit, and obviously got the win. Then Red and Griff come.
We got to work on it.
Got to work.
Red and Griff,
oh, we always gonna get that.
Got to work on it. Yeah, Red and Griff, so always chopping up with our guys, man. It was, I'll do it again. Looking forward to next year. But speaking of which, let's touch on this real quick. We got time. They announced that next year is the 15-year anniversary of the 6 overtime thriller.
Ooh, let's do it. We got to do it, man. We got to do it, man. They got to do the same thing.
That means we got to find Jonathan Flynn. We need you. We need someone to find you and bring him to the Q's. Because if we do that, we can't do it. We can't do it without Johnny. I'll say that much. We can't. Johnny won at all. This is a guy, he ended up scoring whatever he did, 6 OTs later. He cramping up in the hotel room. He probably has stories about it. I know I got my fair share of stories. We need everyone. And I wasn't fucking playing. We need, maybe not SW. But
you played, though. Yeah.
We need JT to come back to talk about how I was playing that zone.
No doubt.
I played. And it's crazy. I still played like 17 minutes, bro. Coming in the game in fucking third overtime, which was crazy. So I got a story behind that whole shit. You know what I'm saying? That I would save. I probably told it once or twice, but I would save for the stage or for the stands, wherever they put me at. But that'll be great. But we can't watch all fucking game, though, bro. That shit took 4 hours. You know what I mean? Or however long it took.
Yeah, they're gonna have to like, yeah, we have to speak, because you can't like just do the overtimes, because then you're gonna miss the setup to do the overtime. The shot, you gotta have a shot.
You miss the set. Oh yeah, no, you gotta show the shot.
You gotta. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but they gotta figure out how to condense it, and then I guess put the main points or whatever it is. But we gotta have commentary too. But we gotta have Johnny. Gotta have Paul.
Because
Paul will
be there. Rick. Paul will be there. Ayo, Rick. We gotta have them guys back. Andy might have to make a.
Absolutely, you know Andy gotta come.
Andy's gonna have to come through. You feel me? We might have to have Christophe Ongenat, but he's coming from Belgium.
Over in Belgium right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit, Quest was in. No, he lives in Florida, I think. But no, man, he can make it, man. He overseas. For that. If we gotta set it up, man, they gotta do it right. I mean,
yeah.
It's only right, man. That's the greatest college game of all time. I mean, people say national championship, yeah, but that game, come on, man. How competitive it was back and forth for basically, and I looked, and at the end of the game, what was it? 72-72, right? I think it was 72.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong as well, because they're killing me in the chat talking about it.
Who threw the pass to you?
Paul. Paul threw it.
Shout out Paul.
Oh, they killing me in the chat talking about no national championship in football. Yeah, I fucked up then, all right? I thought it was, but I know fuck Don McPherson is, so. Yeah, but we need to have that 6OT, bro. We definitely need to have that 6OT. That'd be dope, man, to come back and.
If they don't set it up like that, we might as well use Galaxy radio station to fucking do it our own way. You know what I'm saying? Use Galaxy, stream it. I don't know. We gotta do something though. Something.
Yeah, we gotta do something. We got absolutely, bro. It has to happen, man. I liked it in where it was at. That place is dope. That Veteran Center. I never been in there before either.
Nah, new building. And I think that we will definitely be able to. That was the best college game in history. There'll never be another one like it. There was never one before that. 6 overtimes. You can't make up a better story than that. You tell somebody, hey, there was a game that just went into 6 overtimes. They'll be like, man, shut up. Ain't no game go to 6 overtime. But hey, guess what? That was a true story.
Hey,
True
bro,
story.
I feel like it was I mean, it was more competitive back then playing. I feel like, you know what I'm saying. Even when I'm watching like even the games like a Saturday, like I'm not saying guys aren't talented, can't play, but I feel like it was more physical and it was just more consistent guys out there, more guys that had game. You feel what I'm saying? You going against UConn, you talk about a dude like,
Yeah.
Jeff
Jeff
Adrian.
Adrian. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Stanley Robinson,
Yep.
rest in peace. AJ Price, Jerome Dyson, Thabit. Even a guy like Craig Austrie came in off the bench and was solid for you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it,
Yep.
and
That
then the
motherfucker
next.
named Edwards.
Oh, Gavin Edwards, big ass, big head ass. Yeah, that's who I.
Big.
That's that's
Yep.
why I
That's what he
made
hit the shot
the
on.
shot over. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And then the next game we play West Virginia. Deshaun Butler, Devin Ebanks, Truck Bryant, Kevin
Yep.
Jones. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, yeah, I'm just kind of reminiscing going back, but the talent was, that old Big East. Woo wee!
Hell yeah.
ACC ain't
Hell
got shit
yeah.
on
Hell
that Big
yeah.
East. ACC
Nah,
ain't got
that's a
shit on
fact.
that Big East, bro,
That's a fact.
at all, man.
That was different. That was different. Real different. What the chat talking about?
Hold on, real quick. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, buddy.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened right there. Something happened with my computer. I'm back though. I'm back. Hey Joe, so I wanted to touch on this real quick. I know we've heard a lot of back and forth. What's going to happen with Coach? Is it going to be at the end of this year? Is it going to be one more year? Who's it going to be? Um, what you think, man? Like, I mean, because we all know it's coming. It's happening. It's going to happen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And all the criticism he's been receiving, which is a lot of it is not warranted. And I get like what they're saying, like it's. At the end of the press conferences when he talks to the reporters and he say a lot of slick shit, you know what I'm saying? And some of the stuff he says, you'd be like, damn, coach, all right, that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? I understand like when fans talk about that, but when going at his coaching and doing that, the man's still on our coach. The man's still on our coach. Let's put that out there. He know how to coach. Do the players play as hard as they can for at times? Is it disconnects? Maybe. I'm not assuming, but maybe there is. All right. But the man can still coach. What do
Yes.
you think, Joe? What do you think, man? Going forward,
Well,
is it now? Is it a year later? What do you think is going to happen, bro?
I actually spoke about this yesterday. I was on the Wake Up Call radio show, I think, with Dan T. So that was
Okay.
cool. He asked me a similar question, and my take was just like the same take I had last year. At the end, I felt like last year wouldn't have been a good time for him to leave because if there's one thing I do know about coaches, like he wants to, for one, go out on his own terms. But if he does go out, he wants to go out with a bang. Like fuck it, let me go out with a deep tournament run, Elite Eight, Final Four, something like that. That's what that's like the ideal situation for him to go out. It's like obviously go out with a winning season.
That's going to be tough.
And not what. Yeah, it's going to be tough for sure. But I mean, if we keep this core group of guys together, we will get better. But that's a whole nother story. Then again, I think he's just going to go out on his own terms. Like if he feels like he still has, it's one thing for when you're a hooper. When you're playing, like fuck, my bounce ain't like I used to have a 40. Now my verticals are 33, 32. It takes me. I got to ride the bike 30 minutes before I get on the court now before practice. When it's time when you're a hooper and you're physically going, bro. When your body's had enough. Mentally, coach is still locked in and engaged. He's one of the sharper people that I've spoken to when it comes to basketball. When you have a conversation with him, he remembers plays from 15, 13 years ago
Yeah.
to the minute, to the second. So he's still sharp. And like you said, he still
Absolutely.
knows how to coach. So how do you gauge when a coach is no longer, ready to coach? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's more so of like of a personal feeling. Now, of course, other coaches don't usually have this luxury of coaching at one school for 48, 7 seasons, right? You
Right,
damn near
exactly.
can't even coach at one school for 3 seasons because one losing season and they want off with his head. You're out of there.
Yeah.
I think that coach does have that luxury and that blessing and that he's able to coach here and like he kind of is the mayor, of Syracuse in a sense where, he's gonna go out on his own terms. No one's gonna push him out the door. He's gonna let y'all know, let us know when he's ready to get up out of here. Now you hear it. Oh, he can't do it anymore. The zone, the this, and he hears it. And we at the beginning of this season, we were told that there would be a lot of more man to man being played. It didn't happen that way, but maybe after last season and this season, he's gonna have to take a serious look at maybe having that secondary defense like we spoke about, and just work on it so that you have both weapons in your holster. You gotta have a primary weapon and a secondary weapon. Because when one shit runs out of bullets, bro, you need to go to something else, and it can't be that full court press because teams, yes, it works for a possession or two when you speed teams up. They might turn the ball over, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of cracks in there, especially with these high level athletes. One or two passes past half, they're throwing lobs, they're getting dunks. So maybe it's just a matter of, like we said, taking a look at that defense and saying, you know what, maybe going man to man is not a terrible idea. More of man to man because our staple is the zone and we have the makeup to play it, right? But we need to be able to go to that man to man. So to answer your question, after I moved around a bit, he's not going anywhere. I do believe at the very least he'll be back next year. That's my true personal feeling. He'll be back for one more season, at least next season. Not one more season. He'll be back next season, and we'll go from there, bro. It's like if he feels satisfied, all right, fuck, we made the tournament. I'm ready to, gracefully bow out and let someone else come in and try to. I don't know. I can't even say bring the program back up because the program is up. You know what I mean? So when talking about it, it's hard to really find the right words because it's not like the program is bad. You've had a couple down years, but if you look at the body of work, bro, come on, speaks for itself. You
So
go into the Mellow
look,
Center.
I'll play devil's advocate real quick
Yeah.
because people. I mean, are we up to where we want to be up? No, we're not, and it's been like that probably for like since 2016. I think even then when we made the tournament, then we struggled during the regular season. I guess being up for us and what expectations would be how Joe, when you guys were number one in the country. I've even not to that extent, but like being ranked top 20, being ranked top 15, top 10 during the regular season. I guess that's our expectations of being up. The last
Yes,
8 years, it's
I agree.
been I guess mediocre. You know what I'm saying as far as regular season play goes. But again, like it's a lot of moving parts too, Joe. Like guys are transferring out. We talked about this before. What if we still had Kadari and Quincy? And, guys like that.
Yeah.
And even a guy like Robert Braswell, just pieces to because where are we really struggling at right now this year? From the wing position, as far as consistency goes, as far as like
Yeah.
having defensive activity and rebounding. You know what I'm saying?
Rebounding.
Scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if we had some of those guys we talked about, these last whatever 8 years could have been different as far as the regular season goes. And this year, even this year, we talk about having 6 freshmen, like the guys who are playing a lot of the minutes, the reserves, the guys who we're counting on, the guys who we're counting on to know the zone and be good at the zone, are freshmen. You know what I mean? And we know, bro, and there's going to be your rarities as far as like guys like Judah Mintz and guys who come in and have that success right away as a freshman. But you
Yeah.
might have a guy come in average, 6, 5, 6, 7. But a majority of the freshmen in the country, they're probably not going to have a huge role and average that amount of points. Again, your rarities, Brandon Miller over at Alabama and guys like that. He's a top 5 pick. So I mean, I don't think people even like want to be. They're not even aware of it, or if they are being mindful of it and aware of it, they're ignoring it because it's not coming into winning seasons or the seasons that we're
Yeah.
used to having. You know what I mean?
The
But
result
still,
is not what they want it to
yeah.
be.
But Joe, you got to look at those things though, because it's
You have to. It's just
you know what I'm
rational
saying?
thinking. You got to be rational, bro. You got to be rational. You got to take the and trust me, Cuse Nation. I understand how much you guys expect out of the teams. I know how much passion you guys put into cheering. How much I understand that there's even you could damn near say blood, sweat, and tears. Because I know you be sweating during games. I know you done punched a wall or two and probably bled some. And I know you done cried when we lost a couple games. Like, I understand there's kids who cried. Like, that's blood, sweat, and tears for real. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that there's things that happen out of coach's control. No one's telling coach during the year, I'm out, I'm leaving, I'm transferring at the end of the season. He has a plan in place for next season already. Okay, we got this recruit coming that'll mesh well with these guys that we already have. And then boom, he's throwing a curveball where 2 guys, 3 guys transfer out. Now it's like, oh shit, I didn't plan for this. Thank God for the portal where things could kind of help and you don't have to sit out if you get a transfer. You don't no longer have to sit out a year. But these are things that you can't plan for. You know what I mean? So, of course, it hurts the program's chances of having a successful season when things happen out of your control. And now it's like, fuck, well, I really planned for this guy to do this. Now I got to find a freshman to do a role that I expected to have a junior playing. And, like you said, it could get tricky. It could get tricky, bro. It's hard to get one win in college basketball. It's hard to get 5 wins in the ACC, Big East, Pac-12, Big 12. It's hard to get wins in these conferences. Fucking 20 is very difficult, bro. We were right there. A couple games we let slip away. Then
And still there, still an opportunity, depending on what happens. So I mean, yeah,
who's JJ Starling?
Oh yeah, I saw that, guys. If JJ Starling wants to come home, are you answering the call? Hell, fucking yeah. You looking at it? Do we? Okay, here's it. Okay, here we go. Real quick, we're gonna wrap it up in 2 minutes.
Named Tom.
Yep, Devo and Kris, do you think JJ Starling transfers in now that Bray is possibility? If he did, we definitely got to answer that call and tell him to come on because he's talented. He could play. I remember working him out in a couple summers ago. Man, he's athletic. He could play. He's a hard worker. So we'll definitely have to look at that. But Joe, before we get off, man, what's your prediction? Give me a prediction for 12 o'clock. I know, and Joe, shout out to Joe. Joe's going to be on the post game today, holding it down.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir. I'm going to hold it down in the post game.
Check it out.
I'll give you my prediction. We got 2 of these bad boys. There's an ACC tournament flash sale going on. Hit me, Twitter, Instagram. There's only 2 left. The Platinum Chris Joe edition with the Joseph on the bottom and not the top. So my prediction tonight, like I said, Vegas has us as underdogs, bro. I feel like we go into the tournament, we're on a high. We go in there and we fucking beat the brakes off these guys. I think that we really come out victorious. The confidence that we have because we won can't be overconfident. We have to respect everybody, right? But we're going in there with confidence, and I think we come out victorious.
78-71. That's my prediction. On to Miami. Play the number 1 seed, and we rolling. Cuse Nation, let's get it, baby. You already know. Devo and Chris Joe Show, we out.